Hey, free thinkers. After 40 years of marriage, um, I'm doing this because my oldest son, said to me, you know, for this sort of how I see your mom go through thick and thin, for better for worse, for sickness and health, and you guys still are together, and you guys always find a way to come out of it. He says, so I think you have some knowledge that you should um share with other people of how you went through it. Because since you've been together for 40 years, Dad, I think you should just be honest with people and let them know how you went about it. So I'm not here to talk to single people. Um, that's not my space. I'm not here to tell women that they're less worth if they have a whole bunch of children. I'm not here to tell women that there's not somebody out there for you, but you have to pick the right person, and just not, let's not use the word settle, and just not give yourself to everyone. I know there's men in this space, telling women that they're trash and they're this, and they're low IQ, but some of these men are still sleeping with those trash, low IQ so-called women. These Some of these men are even having impregnate them, and then telling telling them to go have abortions. Men don't do that. Men take responsibility. Male does that. Okay, so they have no problem laying with these women, but have a problem waking up and taking responsibilities. So I'm talking to couples that are married, because if you're not even gonna put the effort in to make a commitment to somebody, I don't think this space is for you. If you're gonna make the commitment to somebody, I would tell you, listen to somebody who went through it, still going through it, because it's a struggle every day, but it's a good struggle because it's in the name of God. Okay, because that's what God put us here to do, is to be together. Okay, while He made man, He made woman to support man, and to make man happy. Okay, and for the support that He gave us here, we need to take responsibility and make sure that the supporter is happy. Like, your entertainer, the people who support your platform and your work. You want to make sure when they come to the venue, they're taken care of. You want them to leave happy. So everybody wants to be happy within their surrounding in their marriage. So again, if you're not married and you're not looking to get married, this is not for you. So I don't want nobody getting on here talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. If you're not married, then this is not for you. You don't know what you're talking about. Now, a while back, I met this young man who, my wife and I went to breakfast, and I met this young man, and they were sitting across from us, and he saw that we were married, because he and my wife talking and stuff like that, and I said to him, "You guys just got married," and he says, "Yeah, how do you know?" It's because you guys are on your phone. And he says, "Really?" "Yeah, because you guys, are in this device. You guys are not talking to each other." He said, "Well, you and your wife was on your phone." I said, "Because we've been married 40 years. Everything we got to talk about, we talked about already. Big difference. But you guys are too young to be on your phone. You should be talking to each other, communicating with each other, find out what each other like. This is a time you do it." So he says, "I want to ask you a question." He said, recently they went out to a function with some other couples, and he said his wife was a traditional wife. And I says, "Okay." He said, "But the people that he went around, the other couples that he went around, he did not know that their wife wasn't traditional." So I says, "Explain traditional." He said, "Well, for instance, my wife and I work, but she comes home a little bit earlier than me, so she pick up the kids, um, put the kids to, help them with the homework, get them ready for bed. She make dinner, and when I come home, she's on the computer doing her, because she works from home. She's on the computer working from home and doing whatever. So I come home, and I eat, and I clean up the house, the dishes, and put stuff away, put out the garbage, and stuff that's supposed to be done." I said, "Okay, keep going." So he said they went out with these other couples, and his wife, being a traditional wife, was doing some things that the other women started staring at her, making comments. So he told his wife, not to do it. So his wife says, yeah, and I didn't feel comfortable with you telling me not to do it. So he told me what she was doing. So I said to him, so let me get this. You want your wife to not be a traditional wife when she's around these other women. He said, oh, I never thought about it like that. I said, but that's what you have to think about, because if this is what she's doing traditionally, why would you want her to change what she does traditionally to please other people? Right? This is your marriage, not theirs. Maybe the what your wife is doing, if you guys are around them enough, they start doing traditional things for their husbands. I said, because when your wife was doing the traditional thing for you, how were the men doing? What were the men sitting across doing? So they were staring at her and looking at their wives. Exactly. So why would you change your wife or tell her not to be traditional because these other women are not traditional? Maybe they'll learn something from her. He shook his head, and his wife looked at him, and I wasn't, he's getting it, and she's listening. So I said, well, think about this. Is your family traditional? He says, what do you mean? He says, are your mother still married to your father? He said, yes. I asked her, is your mother still married to your father? She said, yes. Where did you learn this traditional stuff from? She said, my mom. I see how my mom interact with my dad. My dad is hard working. He comes home. My mom have his dinner ready. She said, oh, and my mom works. She's a school teacher. My dad is a contractor. I said, your mom come home and still do these things? She says, yes, my mom still come home and do these things. How about your mom? She said, no, my mom's a stay-at-home mom, but my dad adore her, and she makes sure when he comes home, everything is there for him ready. So it's okay. So imagine your wife now go around her parents and your parents and not do something traditional. What do you think they would say to you? He said, again, I never thought of that. I didn't think that far ahead of it. So I said, so when you as a couple are doing traditional things and you come around people that are not doing traditional things, it's not for you to change for them, right? Because you're doing traditional things. The things that they're doing, right, is unorthodox. You're not supposed to be doing those things. So you shouldn't change traditional things for unorthodox things. You should get them to conform to the traditional ways, or you don't hang out with them in that way, right? Because eventually your wife is going to get upset at the stuff that you're telling her not to do to please them, and you're going to be at conflict or odds with each other because she wants to be traditional, and when you're among your friends, you want her to be non-traditional. It doesn't work like that. Either you're traditional or you're not traditional. So let her be who she is, because that's how she was raised. And you should be who you are, because that's how you were raised. Right? And this is your marriage, not theirs. And you should never try to please people that you didn't that was not a part of your relationship. That's their relationship, not yours. So always remember that. People are going to always have something to say about your marriage, because that's not how their marriage are. Like, for instance, if we went out, right, like I said, if we went out and your wife and my wife were doing traditional thing, it would be normal, because my wife does stuff like that. I say, you see, she just got up from the table. He says, yeah, she went to go pay the check. He goes, really? Why would I get up to go pay the check? She ordered breakfast for me and her. I noticed that when you were ordering breakfast, you told him what you want. She told him what you want. You notice I never opened my mouth. He goes, yeah. Why? Because she knows what I want. That's what 40 years do. That's what's paying attention. That's what communication does. You know what the other person wants. And can I order my own breakfast? Absolutely. But since I know she's already going to order, let them know what I eat and what I want and how much I want, and how it has to be proportioned, and what I want in my coffee and how it should be mixed and done. That's her thing. That's what she wants to do. So don't let people change your marriage of a traditional marriage to a non-traditional marriage because they're uncomfortable with it. You're not there to make them comfortable. You're there to make your spouse comfortable in what they're supposed to be doing. So stay traditional, people, and your marriage will work out. And again, um, be around people that have your goals in mind, because not everybody that's married will give you good information, because sometimes people see that your marriage um, is functioning and working out better than theirs. They'll give you bad advice. So you have to be careful who you ask for marital advice, and never ask a single person, never ask a divorced person, never ask somebody that's transitioned out of a marriage to being divorced anything. It's best sometimes to go back to the foundation, which is their parents if they're alive, and ask them, because 99.9% of the time they've been through it. Okay? So everyone, enjoy.